In the annals of ancient history, few narratives captivate as much as the 10 plagues that befell Egypt in biblical times. This divine showdown, as recorded in the book of Exodus, serves as a dramatic testament to both power and faith. Today, we explore these remarkable events that challenged a mighty civilization and left an indelible mark on religious and cultural consciousness. Our journey begins with the Israelites, a people oppressed under the weight of Egyptian slavery for generations. Hope arrives in the form of Moses, a man chosen by God to lead them to freedom. It's a tale not just of liberation, but of divine intervention meant to display the might of the Almighty to a skeptical Pharaoh. When Pharaoh refuses to release the Israelites, the stage is set for a confrontation that would test the will and belief of everyone involved. The first plague strikes the very lifeblood of Egypt, the Nile River. Considered sacred and a source of sustenance, the river turns to blood. Fish die, the water becomes undrinkable, and a stench fills the land. Pharaoh remains unmoved, attributing this miracle to mere sorcery, yet this was just the beginning. Next comes an invasion of frogs, covering every inch of the land. These amphibians, as fiercely symbolic as they are disruptive, infiltrate homes and royal chambers alike. Pharaoh wavers, promising freedom for the Israelites, but retracts once the plague is lifted, a pattern repeated through the ensuing trials. With the third plague comes an infestation of gnats or lice, descending upon humans and beasts alike. As with the previous plagues, Pharaoh's magicians attempt to replicate the phenomenon but fail, acknowledging the finger of God at play. Despite this, Pharaoh's heart remains hardened. Then, a swarm of flies. Not just a nuisance, but a force that devastates the land, sparing only the region of Goshen, where the Israelites dwell. This distinction marks a turning point. It's no longer just magic, but divine judgment from which the Egyptians cannot escape, while the Israelites remain untouched. The fifth plague targets agriculture, striking livestock with pestilence. What is more vital than the creatures that toil and provide sustenance? Even so, Pharaoh's resolve is ironclad. Next, itchy boils break out on Egyptians and their animals, a physical affliction at odds with their reputation for healing and medicine. Yet there is no remedy that can withstand the wrath of these divine measures. As Pharaoh continues to refuse freedom, the seventh plague sees thunderous hail mixed with fire, a harrowing storm that decimates crops and shatters the fabric of Egyptian opulence. Those who heed Moses' warning protect themselves and their livestock, but many suffer gravely. Despite this devastation, Pharaoh's capitulation is short-lived. The eighth plague, a locust swarm, consumes what remains after the hail. It is a scene of utter ruin, a reflection of the spiritual desolation encroaching upon Egypt. Pharaoh yields once more, yet still his heart proves insincere. Darkness then blankets the land, a palpable void for 3 days. It's an affront to Ra, the Egyptian sun god, and a testament to a power greater than any deity of Egypt. Light persists only in the homes of the Israelites, a reminder of the divine favor they hold. Finally, the 10th and most devastating plague, the death of the firstborn. It is a grievous blow that touches every household, from the poorest slave to Pharaoh's own palace. This ultimate act of divine will is one that shatters Pharaoh's resistance at last, leading to the release of the Israelites. As the Egyptians mourn, the Israelites embark on their exodus, a journey to freedom that culminates in the parting of the Red Sea. This story does more than speak of victory and liberation. It underscores themes of faith, resilience, and divine justice. Throughout these trials, the plagues of Egypt serve not only as historic events, but as symbols of the eternal struggle between right and might, faith and disbelief. They remind us that power, when unchecked by conscience, faces inevitable reckoning, and that a steadfast belief can illuminate the darkest times. By understanding this ancient narrative, we gain insight into the cultural and religious frameworks that have shaped civilizations for millennia. Whether viewed as myth, history, or spiritual teaching, the plagues of Egypt are a compelling chapter in the ongoing dialogue between humanity and the divine. And so ends our exploration, a reflection on the enduring power of stories that reach beyond time, echoing with lessons of yesterday, today, and tomorrow.